So whether, the point here is whether you're brand new or a seasoned networker, this system was built for you. It can work for you. So not only, if you're someone who knows how to recruit and you're out there doing it every day, congratulations, good for you, but now you need a system for your teams to use. And this you can definitely, provide to your team and help them with that. Okay, so step one of becoming an influencer is having an incredible first impression. Okay, the way that I recruited over 250 people on social media is by presenting myself as a professional, as somebody credible, presenting myself as someone that people want to hear from and want to talk to and actually want to join. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. Okay. Now this does not mean that you have to be that you have to lie and you have to have the results and you have to say, hey, I just made $1 million in 5 minutes. Absolutely not. You are yourself. You come online with your own personality, your own flair. But what we're trying to get across is the confidence that you have in your value and in what your company offers and in what you as a person offer. That's what we really want, is that confidence to come across and for you to be someone of value, somebody that people want to actually stick around and look at on your profiles and things. So my first tweak is to do a Facebook Live. Okay, now some of you, your hands just got clammy, your heart just started beating. If you're scared, well, do it anyway. Okay, do it anyway. The reason I love Facebook Live, and a lot of other people do, is because it just gets so much reach. Facebook is dominating this space. They really want to be the master of live video. They want to own it, and I kind of think they already do at this point. But they're just giving, if you do a Facebook Live, they're showing it to everyone. They're giving it so much reach. They're getting so many people to see it that are connected to you, and even a lot of people that aren't connected. So you want to make sure that you do this to get your brand, get yourself out there so people are like, hey, who's this chick or who's this guy? So they know who you are. Facebook Live is also amazing because it helps you stand out above and beyond your competition, right? Because there's so many people that don't want to do a live video. They're so scared of screwing up or saying the wrong thing. I'm here to tell you, who cares? That's what people want. They want real. They want in your face. They don't want super professional and super duper, uptight videos. They want real people on there sharing, their struggles and also their breakthroughs and who they are. And so few people are willing to do that. So many people want to do a video that's edited 50 times or whatever, a video that has scripts so that you say exactly what you want to say, versus just being live and being out there and sharing with the world who you really are, just a raw video. So it really helps you stand above and beyond your competition. So Facebook Live can really set you apart from your competition. And the way that you do this, by the way, is you just go on your Facebook, you go as if you were going to post a status update. You have to do it on your phone. And then instead of doing a text or a photo, you hit the live button, you hit the live video button, and there you go. You're ready to do it. Now, if you're really scared, like to the point where hey, Jess, that's great, but I know I'm not going to do that, then I highly suggest doing some piece of content that introduces you to the world, aka a blog, a LinkedIn article, something, a regular video that you can do 50 takes of. My first video, I think I did about 24 takes, and it was a minute video basically telling people how I was scared of video. So 24 takes for a minute-long video to tell people that I was scared of video. Okay, so I get being scared of video, I really do. And, just something out there is better than nothing. Like I said, the way that I have recruited so many people is by presenting myself as a confident professional that's there to help them or serve them. And you do that through creating content and things that people really can look up to or find the answers to the questions that they have. So when I first came on to social media, I did a 7-part video series. And the first video was me saying how scared I was to do videos. And I told people, I said, hey, you know what? I'm really scared to do videos. I would really love it if you guys would comment and share if you are too. And if you are scared to do videos, why don't you take this challenge with me, because I'm going to do 7 videos in a row. And every single day I'm going to do a video, and I would love for you to comment and share. And let me know if you're out there, if you're also someone that's scared, and let's do this together. So I took on the journey with me when I was kind of having my coming out party, right? My, hey, I'm out here on social media and I want everybody to know who I am. So launching myself as a, social media online person. So I highly recommend you do something like that. And the result was I had a ton of people that were, excited for me and said the same thing, like, oh, I'm so glad you said you're scared of video, because I am too. Be vulnerable. Be honest with people. Tell them what, you're scared of, and tell them where you're going, how you're going to fix it, how you're going to help them. And tell them, what you're going to do and why they should stick around on your site. Okay, so that could be your very first Facebook Live, is just launching your business or launching yourself out into the online world and sharing with them, your vision, what you're struggling with or what you're not struggling with, and where you're going, and how they can be a part of that. Take people on the journey with you. Okay, this should help a lot of you. And then secondly, tell people how you can help them everywhere you can. Everywhere you can. That means in your intro, that means in your banner, that means in your summary, in your about section, wherever you can. So many people, this is a big mistake I see people make. So many people tell people what their company can help them do, or what your product can help the person do, or what your website helps the person do. Newsflash, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Everyone could care less what your product or website or company does. They want to know who you are. So tell them who you are. Tell them who you help people, or how you help people. And that's why they're going to stick around your stuff, and that's why they're going to listen to it. Okay? Big tip there. So was this helpful so far, guys? Some of you have already said that you're taking notes, which is totally awesome. No trap, blah, 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 blah. Yes, absolutely, totally, 100%. I'm taking so many notes already. That's awesome. Very cool. So these 2 tweaks right here, guys, will help you immensely to just get more leads already coming to you. Now, we're going to talk about reaching out to people, but just doing those 2 things, if you can go home and do that today, or go home and do that this week, you will instantly see more people reaching out to you, and they'll be questioning, like, okay, what happened with Joe? What happened with Mary? They're all of a sudden like acting really amazingly professional, and I wonder what's up with them. And they'll start paying attention to what you're doing. So awesome. Glad you guys are loving this. Very, very cool. Okay, so now once you have your profile set up, it's very important to have a good first impression. You're ready to reach out to people and start making the connection. Okay? So this is my first message formula, and it goes like this. Hey, their first name. Then I used to just teach why you're messaging them, just go right to why you're messaging them. But from people, from coaching and different people sending me in their conversations, where I saw people missing the boat the most was the enticing first sentence. That first sentence is so key as you're reaching out to people on social media, because you and I both know that we get tons of messages in our inbox. And if it's not like a really enticing first sentence, then chances are, if I don't know you, I'm not really opening it. Like if you write in, hey, I see, I'm here to network with people on Facebook, and that's your first sentence, then people are going to instantly think spammer, or they're going to think, hey, there's something up with this person, I might not respond to them, or even open the message. So you've got to have a really enticing first sentence, okay? Then plus why you're messaging them. They want to know why you're reaching out to them specifically, plus a connection point and excitement, and then a question at the end. And the questions, as I mentioned before, can be the most important part of the conversation. Now, here's something cool that I really haven't talked about much, but you can make this not only a actual message, but you can make it audio messaging. My good friend and our client, John Milton, he is a recruiting genius on social media, and he uses the audio function. So you can use that on Facebook as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be a texted message through social media, so keep that in mind. So here's an example of how that would go. Hey Bob, I almost didn't reach out to you, but then I decided to anyways. Now if you saw a message in your inbox that said, hey Bob, I almost didn't reach out to you, don't you think you would open it, right? I know I would. I would look at that and say, well, wait a minute, why didn't you reach out to me, right? Let me see what's going on here. So that's a good example. You can use whatever you want here. I'm just giving you an example of kind of how I would go about this as an enticing first sentence. And then follow up, I swear I'm not a random Facebook person with a spammy message. Sometimes honesty is the best policy. So if you feel like the conversation is getting awkward, or you feel like it's taking a weird turn, or they're not responding to you, or they got turned off or whatever, call it out. Call it out. Say, hey, I noticed that you haven't been responding to my messages. Just want to make sure I didn't say anything to offend you. I hope not. I know your time is valuable, as is mine. So I just want to, to make sure that everything's okay here, or else I'll just move on. Right? Call it out. Tell people why, or what you're thinking, or why they should message you back. So here I'll just say, I swear I'm not a random Facebook person with a spammy message, because they're probably thinking that. So call out the elephant in the room. Now, here's where I tell them why I'm messaging them. I've been noticing the comments you made on the Tony Robbins page, and I checked out your profile. We definitely have the same mindset, like when you posted about work ethic. So when it comes to why you're messaging them, you really want to have two parts to this. The first one is where you found them, because they want to know how in the world you found their profile. And the second is something specific on their profile that stood out to you. And I mean something specific. So what I used to see from people is things like, I'm messaging you because you seem like a really great networker. Or I'm messaging you because I really like your dog. Or I'm messaging you because you have a nice outfit, or whatever. Just things that were nice, but they weren't really specific. It wasn't really telling the person, okay, why in the world should I respond to what you're saying? And why are you reaching out to me, of all people? They want to feel special, so make them feel very special. So point out something that they've written, something on their profile that has sparked something in you to reach out to them, okay? So I thought we should connect. Great to chat with you. What exactly do you do for work? Now, 9 times out of 10, I'm ending with that question. Why? Because when you ask someone what they do for work, what is their natural, polite response? Now, that's if they're polite. You don't want to ever assume that somebody on social media is polite, but if they are polite, which a lot of them are, right, they'll ask you, well, I do blah, blah, blah. What do you do for work? So it kind of gives you a little opening to leave some, to just plant the seed and leave some curiosity there, okay? So, great to chat with you. What exactly do you do for work? Do not ask this. Disclaimer, now I know a lot of you on here are way smarter than this and you would never ever do this, but I have to bring it up because I see it constantly, even though I say not to. Do not ask, what exactly do you do for work, if it's blatantly all over their profile. Don't do that, okay? You are just opening yourself up for disaster. If you do that and it says, if you reach out to someone and ask them what they do for work, and on their banner it says, Realtor for Century 21, and in their intro, it says, here's my real estate listings website, and they have listings all over their profile. Don't ask them what they do for work. They're going to be like, really? You didn't read a thing on my profile, okay? So just make sure you think about that before asking that question. Have to give that disclaimer. So once they respond, you've got a good lead. This is now, you should be proud of yourself, because this is now someone that you took from ice cold, dry ice cold. That's really cold, right? Dry ice cold. To kind of lukewarm, to somebody that is going to respond to you. So educate yourself. That is your job, and practice your skill set in order to take advantage of the lead. Okay? For some reason, you know, we get into network marketing and we forget that it's a profession. We forget that it deserves our skill set, probably because it's so easy to get into and there's low barrier to entry, right? So we don't take it as seriously as if we're going to become a doctor, where we educate ourselves, we go through 8 years of schooling, we go through 4 years of residency, whatever the case may be, and then we're a doctor, or a law degree, same thing, or real estate, or really anything out there that requires skill set, we take seriously and we do what we need to do to get there. However, when it comes to network marketing, for some reason, we think we don't have to invest in our education. We think we don't have to, you know, go out there and learn the skill. We think we don't have to improve ourselves each and every day. We don't have to do personal development. You absolutely have to do all of those things in order to succeed. So my goal for you is that you no longer let qualified leads slip through your fingertips. That is the goal of tonight's presentation, or today's presentation. So make sure that you don't ever let that happen. So here are some ways to lead people to where you want them to go. Like I said, I don't want qualified leads slipping through your fingertips. After tonight, that should never happen again. And so here are some ways to get people not only into the rapport stage, but actually to the point, which is to build your business into the closing of the sale. So there are 10 questions and 12 scripts that I've used and teach for closing on social media. Here, because of time, you know, we could go through all of those. It would take forever. But here are 3 of my favorite that I think would really, really help you to get to the next level. So I mentioned, what do you do for work? How long have you been doing that for? And then, you must love it, huh? Or have you ever thought of doing anything else? So this goes something like that. Very, very simple. These are simple questions. However, they lead someone where you want them to go, which is eventually into your business or buying your product. So this is usually how this would go. What do you do for work? Oh, I'm in real estate. How long have you been doing that for? Well, about 10 years. Oh, you must love it, huh? Well, it pays the bills. That's something I heard consistently all the time. Well, it pays the bills. Oh, well, that doesn't sound too exciting. Haha. Have you ever thought of doing anything else? Right? And now you see how that can transition into talking about your business. If you just do this thing 5 times a day, which you can do in less than 20 minutes. Sometimes I only had 10 minutes a day to reach out to people because I was so busy. But I still did it. I still made it happen. Okay, so the cool thing about social media is that you can do this at any time, right? People are awake. You know, social media doesn't sleep, right? They're awake at midnight. They're awake at 6 a.m. It doesn't matter. Or they can respond to you later if they're not available. So you must love it, huh? Or have you ever thought of doing anything else? That kind of transitions them into where you want them to go. If you just do this 5 times a day, after 12 months, you will have a significantly greater business than what you had going into this training, okay? AKA what you have today. So just remember to be consistent and go through these leading questions and scripts and building rapport and taking them into where you want to go. Okay. So finally, the last kind of step of getting someone from cold to lukewarm and then to red hot is to get them on the phone. Now, newsflash, this does not, nowadays, it doesn't actually mean that you have to get them on the phone. We just want to transition them into a place where they feel more comfortable with you, they know you're a real person, and they know that that you're actually going to be there for them, right? Because if you get on the phone and you talk to them, they know, okay, this person is serious. If you don't, they will be questioning that in the back of their mind. Okay, so if you don't want to get on the phone in any way, shape, or form, then honestly, network marketing probably isn't for you, okay? Sales, business is probably not for you because everything has to do with relationships, at least long term. I'm not saying you can't have some short-term success, but at least long term, it's going to take some phone stuff. However, it doesn't have to be scary. There's a lot of different ways to do this, and if you know how to pass people off to the tools and just make it really succinct and to the point and just get your message across, it's actually really, really easy to be on the phone, especially when you have the exact scripts to do it. But it doesn't have to be the phone. Like I said, it could be Facebook chat, it could be Skype chat, especially for international. That's always an incredible way to communicate. Texting is even more intimate than social media. Not the phone, but it's even more intimate than social media. You can always tell your prospect you want to shoot them a text with the information. And so that way you have their phone number and you can follow up with them. And it's kind of like a way to get a little more relationship building, but it doesn't feel too invasive. Like, oh, this person's calling me all the time, I don't really want to talk or whatever. Okay, so here's a couple of different ways you can do this. I would screenshot this, write this down, do whatever you need to do. So the first way is assuming that you've already sent them the information via social media. Okay, and this was a line that I used all the time. Here's my phone number in case you have any questions. What's yours so I know who's calling me? Right? Pretty genius, I have to say. And it worked like a charm. Now you want to make sure you're ready for this step, right? But most of the time, if you've been able to give them the information, you've built a little rapport, they're ready for this step. And the people that are serious, they will be okay with giving you their phone number. At least they'll be honest with you and say, hey, you know, I want to see the information first, but I'd be happy to reach out to you or whatever. But they will respond positively to this, and those that are really serious will give you their phone number. The reason you always give your phone number first is to let down their guard, okay? And then what is this really saying? It's saying, hey, I don't really need your phone number to follow up with you. It's just if you call me with questions, I just need to have you on my caller ID so I know who's calling and I respond. But we know that even if they love it, even if your prospect thinks it's the best thing they've seen since sliced bread, they're never going to call you, okay? They're never going to follow up with you. You have to follow up with them. It's just kind of a sly way to get their phone number. So you can also go the route of, if you don't want to send them the information right away, and this works very effectively as well, you can say, hey, here's my number so you can text me with your questions. What's yours? And I'll text you the information. Just like what we talked about, texting the information or getting their number to text them is so much less invasive and makes them feel okay with giving you their number, just because they don't feel like, I don't know, it's just a weird thing with our society nowadays. People would rather text than call, right? And they feel like it's okay because it's not breaking that wall that I have up or whatever. I taught somebody this line, and they got 5 phone numbers within their first week. They got 3 appointments that actually showed, right? Because of course we know everybody won't show. And they got to sign up just because they switched from doing, hey, what's your phone number, to, hey, let me text you the information, and then going from there, okay? So it's really, really important to feel your groove, feel what works for you, and go for it. Just go all in and actually ask for the sale, right? That's an extremely important part of this. If you don't ask for the sale, then, right, what's the saying? If you don't ASK, you don't GET, okay? And it doesn't have to be scary. If you go through the process in the right way and you set people up right from the beginning, and you're getting the right types of people to reach out to and into this process, you're good to go. You're golden. Okay, so have you guys gotten value so far? Let me see some yeses, and if you haven't, then just don't say anything. I'm just kidding, just kidding. Awesome, guys. Yes, so much, tons of value. Very, very cool. So much. Absolutely, of course. Yes, absolutely. Wonderful, fantastic. Great, great. This is a great group for sure. I love the actual scripts. Awesome. Awesome info. Love you guys. Well, thank you. I love you guys too. Very, very cool. Okay, so what I've taught you here, by following these tips I just provided, you have the first steps to go out and start prospecting. Absolutely. And I appreciate all of the positive feedback. It's been just incredible, and you guys are amazing. So I want to make sure that you can leave today, you know, with some valuable tips and valuable info, and go out there and start creating some success, right? Start seeing some results. But before we get to Q&A, I do want to share with you something for those of you that are ready to really dive deep and you have like a 12-month plan. So you're someone who you know, is out there and you know you want to be a top earner in your company. You know that you want to be unstuck and actually start rank advancing versus just staying where you're at. You know that within the next 12 months you are ready mentally and, you know, physically you're ready to go out there and make it happen. You're sick of being where you're at. And I can relate to that because I was that person, right? 100% I was that person. So you're ready to deep and really play big this year. For those of you out there, I do want to share with you my new and improved 10K social media recruiting formula. We actually shut down this program for a period of time, and we're bringing it back out completely updated. So I have tirelessly gone through this program and updated it from start to finish with every, you know, new Facebook update, new everything. Some of you may have gone through this training and wondered, okay, well, how do I get around, you know, the Facebook updates, and how do I make sure people see my messages, and how do I hit this button or that button? That's all in here for you. So this is like your take-home program that you will have instant access to once you get involved in it. And this is going to be something that you can refer back to as you're prospecting and recruiting, so that if you ever get stuck on what to say and, you know, you're wondering where to go on to the next step, or how to actually train somebody once you bring them into your business, then this is a great take-home for you, so you can refer back to it. It's almost like me being there every step of the way to help you build your business, to coach you along the way. So I take great pride in this program. It's helped so many people, and it is completely updated. So for those of you that do want to follow along with me, before we get to some Q&A, you can go to jessicahigdon.com/now and go ahead and follow along with what's involved in the program, and I'm going to go through that. So just so you know, the 10K social media recruiting formula is the signature course out there for recruiting on social media, hands down. There is, if you ask anyone out there who's actually recruited on social media and has gone the active prospecting recruiting route, they owe a lot of it to this course. Now, of course, not everybody, but a lot of people out there have taken this course first, you know, to really boost up their prospecting and recruiting on social media. It is the signature course for network marketers because it's a simple step-by-step system to get you fast results without being a tech guru. It's a simple system. You're not going to go out there. So there are a lot of programs out there, unfortunately, that you get involved in, and then all of a sudden you're more confused than before you started. Okay? This is not one of those programs. This is designed to help you remove all that clutter, to help you focus and get where you need to go in the next 12 months, within the next, you know, not even the next 12 months. It might be faster for you than it was for me. In fact, a lot of people that have gone through this have had quicker results because they just have, you know, they have the mentorship right there that I didn't necessarily have. So it could be the next 6 months, could be the next 12 months, but whatever it takes to get you where you want to go, that rank, that top earner status, It's simple. It's designed to get you there fast and without being more confused than when you got involved. And the power in that is it's easily duplicable for massive leverage and team building. So you're not going to be going out there doing something that you're scared to tell your teams about because you don't want to confuse them. So that's the great thing about what we have. So what if you had an unlimited amount of leads to talk to about your business and knew exactly what to say to them? Wouldn't that be cool? And that was my problem. I find, well, that's really every networker's problem, right? Is they don't have leads. It's a big one. And even if they did have leads, they have no idea what to say to them. They have great uplines or they may have mentorship or whatever, but there's nothing in front of them saying, hey, if this happens, do that. If this happens, do that. And that's what this is designed to do. We give you exact scripts, and I'll go through all of that for exactly what to say to people so that you never get stuck. So you finally got unstuck and had a daily routine that got you on your company stage. I wanted to be on my company stage so bad, and if that's you, I know that this can help you do that. But for some of you, it's not about being on your company stage. It's about you feeling fulfilled. You want to be, you want to be recognized. You finally want to be acknowledged for doing something powerful, and you want to feel accomplished. And that may be, you may feel that feeling by having your people be on stage. So what if you were in the audience applauding all of your reps on stage? Wouldn't that be amazing? And that's exactly what's happened to me and a lot of people that have gone through this training. So I want you to feel accomplished. I want you to feel fulfilled. And the only way you're going to do that, whether you take this training or you do something else, the only way you're going to do that is by making a decision. Okay, making a decision to play big and go all in. So again, you can go to jessicahigdon.com/now and follow along with me. And we'll go through everything. And make sure you go there and just follow along. I think it's important because we do have a lot to cover. There's a lot of stuff in here that I want to go through. So for those of you on this webinar, by the way, it's $100 off the retail price with over $3,425 worth of bonuses. Okay, you will never see that price again. You are on this webinar and you get that bonus and that discount. So let me go through what you get. And again, you may want to follow along here. In Module 1, we cover profile positioning and branding. This is your first impression. So I go through and show you how to create a professional, credible first impression with honesty and integrity. That's without, having to lie or without all the crazy guru, quote-unquote guru stuff you see out there nowadays. We want to get rid of all that and just bring it back down to basics and what's really going to get people into your business. And then I give you 3 tweaks to draw prospects to you rather than repel them away. There are things on your profiles right now, I know this for a fact, I've seen it so many times, that are repelling your prospects away from you, and just with a few little tweaks, you could have a lead tomorrow that wants to join your business. I'm not saying you will, but I've seen that happen because it's just a few simple tweaks away from recruiting versus not. This is really how to become a social media celebrity, and we talk about branding strategies for a higher response rate. So if you're getting responses to your messages, it could be because you're missing this very important first step. So we cover that. And then in Module 2, we cover finding your ideal prospect. So some of you may have had the question of, okay, I see how to reach out to people, how to initiate the contact, some ways to lead them into the close, but where do I find these people? But not only people, where do I find leaders? How do I find the people that are actually going to build my business with me and for me and help me gain that freedom? And that's what we talk about in Module 2 is finding your ideal prospect, the best places to go, the main characteristics of a leader versus a follower, and how to find those types of people. And how to do all this without getting banned on Facebook and LinkedIn. No, we do not want you getting banned. That would be very bad. So we share with you how to do that with some of the Facebook and LinkedIn updates. Then in Module 3, Now, in my opinion, Module 3 alone is worth the investment in the course, because this is teaching you really how to deal with people. Whether you are doing this on social media, or you're out there face-to-face conversing with people, or you're on the phone, whatever the case may be, these are exact scripts to get your prospect to know, like, and trust you. And we cover all the leading questions. This module will leave you totally knowledgeable. It'll leave you totally confident that you can recruit your prospect. You'll know what to say. You'll never be stuck on what to say. And I actually have a guy, Terry Grimeau, some of you know him. When I first met Terry, he was making $35,000 a year working as a manager at a general store in Montana. And he went through this training, and specifically this module. He said he printed out the scripts, put them next to his computer, followed them to a T, and this was before he was anybody, right? He recruited 30 people in 60 days. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen to you, but what if it's an extra 3 people this week, or 3 people, this month? It's at least better than where you're at, and it'll get you unstuck and start making some money, right? So he took massive action and recruited 30 people in 60 days. That's possible for you if you are coachable, if you follow these scripts, and if you take massive action. And then in Module 4, we cover closing techniques that work. Okay, now closing does not have to be scary at all. I am not a super duper closer. I don't really like being aggressive at all. However, like I said earlier, if you know how to set it up from the very beginning, and you find the right type of person, you give them the right questions, you find out their pain, and you provide a solution to it with whatever you have, then the closing part actually becomes fun and easy and simple. So we cover stress-free phone skills and really how to close without ever feeling pushy, salesy, or awkward. The reason that I did most of my talking and conversation through social media is because I was scared of the phone. I wanted to say as little on the phone as possible. Okay, I wanted everything to be set up properly for me so that when I got on the phone, it was like, okay, this person is already primed. All I have to do is point them to the information or give them a little background or whatever, and then it's a simple decision, either a yes or a no. I wanted to spend as little time on the phone as possible. So we talk about the stress-free phone skills and how to close without ever feeling pushy, salesy, or awkward. So that's really, really valuable to people. Now, these 4 modules alone are $697 value. These values, by the way, these are not values that we just pulled out of the sky and said, hey, let's make this, worth almost $700. No, all the values I'm giving you are real-world values. These have sold for this price, or have sold, or are selling. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to those. Now, Adele, she was someone who went through this training, and because of it, she's gotten 3 people to sign up in her business in the last month, and she's now averaging 2 to 3 appointments per day, which before she was only averaging about 3 appointments per week, right? So that is a huge, huge improvement, and it's just awesome that that she's having that success. And then Patti, love this woman. She went through my training. The very next morning, she had 5 people interested in her business. She set up 4 appointments, and from there, she got 2 more inquiries. So she met with all 6 people and got 5 in the business that week. Now, Patti is someone who, she was so excited that I mentioned her in this training. She actually reached out to me and said, hey, Jess, thank you so much for mentioning me and giving me a shout out. She said, by the way, I've had a lot of people asking me, hey, is this true? Should I get this course? Is it worth it? And I tell them 100% of the time to go for it, and it's changed my business. So I appreciate you, Patti. If you're on here, thank you so much. You're absolutely awesome. And I see so many testimonials and so many people that have shared these types of stories with me, and I'm honored. It's super awesome to be helping people do these types of things and making this impact, especially when they felt like there was no hope. So Patti is just one of many people that I've heard from, and she's just an incredible business lady. So do you guys like bonuses? I see some heck yeses, some yeah. Wow, you guys are excited. I love it. How about over $3,000 worth? We wanted to make sure when we rolled out this course that it was a staple for the Higdon brand. And what I mean by that is we wanted to create, you know, obviously we roll out this course and of course we make money. Okay, of course we do. But money is just a reflection of how much value you provide. Okay, if you understand that, then it's easy. So, of course we make money here, but honestly, our goal with this course is to create so many testimonials, to have so many people whose lives are changed, so many people who have a transformation in their business, that everybody knows that when they invest in a Higdon course or they invest in a Higdon program, they are going to see the results. Okay, and they have the step-by-step how-to of how to do it, not just something that's going to confuse you more or take you away from your focus and your goal. So we wanted to make sure that this was your one-stop shop, okay, for social media training, and that you didn't have to turn anywhere else. You had everything you needed at your fingertips. Because as you go on your prospecting and recruiting journey and you go out there and start building, you're going to run into some things along the way. You're going to run into some challenges. You're going to run into some exciting things. When you recruit someone, you're going to want to know, okay, now what? So we wanted to make sure you have each and everything available to you. So we included some different things for you. So as bonus number 1 is my zero rejection conversation template. These are 25 questions and scripts you can use for all of your social media conversations, so you never have to worry if you're saying the right things. Okay, this is another thing that Terry used to get his prospecting and recruiting down pat, so he printed these out as well. There's a $97 value on that. You'll get my social media attractor factor checklist. So this is a checklist you get to make sure that everything that you have on your profiles is good, is accurate, because the first thing someone's going to do when you reach out to them is they're going to look at who you are. And if they don't like what they see, then you're not going to have a very high success rate. So this is a great way for you to make sure that everything is in place and properly presented. That's a $49 value right there. Then as a mega bonus, we're going to give you recordings of my 4 accountability online coaching events. This is where I went through people's conversations. I went through people's questions, and I answered them, and this is like 4 hours of coaching with me. And this is easily a $1,750 value because my husband and I, we charge thousands of dollars per hour for personal coaching. Okay, we absolutely do. And this is group coaching, but there's 4 hours of it. Okay, and so I guarantee you, if you're going down your path and you're wondering, okay, and you're talking to someone and you're in the midst of talking with a prospect and they say, well, I need to see some more information. Or, you know, hey, is this a pyramid, right? I guarantee those types of questions are in these coaching sessions. Or maybe you're out there and you're getting a lot of people to respond to you, but you're just not getting a lot of people in the business. Or vice versa, you're getting a lot of people in the business, but then you're not getting a lot of duplication or what have you. That's in these webinars. So these are very, very valuable to you, and you're going to want to make sure that you go through this once you get the course. Now, as a super bonus, back in January, we had our Top Earner Marketing Boot Camp. And at this boot camp, I gave a talk on how to recruit on social media and marketing on social media. And we got so much feedback from that training that we decided to include it here for you. So you guys are the only ones that have this, that have access to this besides those that were live at the event. So we had people that actually messaged me and reached out to me the day of that training saying that they got leads and sales. So I think, you know, we thought this would be really something, a huge bonus to include for you guys. And you guys are the only ones that will have access to this besides the people that were at the event. So that's a $97 value right there. Now, I told you we wanted this to be the one-stop shop. And so we reached out to the best of the best in our industry in social media recruiting and team building. And John, Nadia, Melton are definitely some of the best social media team builders and business builders we've ever seen. John Melton has recruited over 300 people on social media. I mentioned him before. You know how he does the audio messaging? So he shows you in this training exactly how he does it. And then Nadia is just a social media marketing and Facebook Live superstar. So if you heard me say, hey, do a Facebook Live, and to you that was totally confusing and you weren't sure what you should do, how you should portray yourself, what you should say, how you should describe it, what you should post about it, she covers that stuff. And these guys also charge thousands of dollars for coaching, but because they're friends of ours and clients, they offered this to us so generously just as a total free bonus for you guys. Okay, so that's easily a $149 value right there. Now, Lisa Torres, I mentioned her before, and I'll tell you that my friend actually went through, she's a big leader in the industry, and she went through this training, and she said, Jess, the training's phenomenal, and the bonuses. She said, oh my God, the bonuses. And Lisa Torres' training, she's like, I can't believe what she's done, and that is just gold. That's going to help so many people, and myself included, my business has skyrocketed because of it. So I know, I've been through each and every one of these trainings. I know how incredible they are. She gives her best tips on how she's recruited over 400 people through social media. And not only that, but how her people are duplicating, which is just not as important, if not more important, than just recruiting. So you want to make sure to go through that one as well. That's a $149 value. Now, as another super bonus, I know we have a lot. April O'Leary is my co-author. She's a great friend and a very successful business coach. We know that, nothing matters if you don't stay accountable and consistent. And some people think that that's outside of you. Some people think that you have to, have an accountability partner or something, but really you have all the tools you need to make that happen within you. And April is a specialist. This is one of her specialties, is teaching people how to be accountable and consistent with a step-by-step process to teach your mind how to hold yourself accountable. And when she taught this to me, I was blown away, and I use it to this day. So I thought, what goes along with building a business through social media? It's not just the actual step-by-step process, it's actually holding yourself accountable and consistent. So you're going to get that training as well involved in this course as a total free bonus for you, and that's a $97 value. Then as another super bonus, I know guys, it's like, whoa, did we include enough bonuses in this course? I don't know. Terry Grimaud's How to Attract People Using Social Media. This guy, I mentioned him before. He went from making a low salary to recruiting 30 people in less than 60 days, but also this guy's had multiple 5-figure months and sometimes has had 5-figure days. 5-figure days. And he's one of the best at monetizing your friends and fans on Facebook. So it's great to get a bunch of likes. It's great to get a bunch of friends. But if you don't know how to monetize that, then there's really no point. And he shows you exactly how to do that. Okay. Then, of course, we had to have the most handsome contributor to the course come in here and give his bonus, which is my husband, Ray Higdon's Overcoming Objections course. Now, Ray, of course I'm partial because he is my husband. However, I mean this wholeheartedly, and I'm sure many of you will agree. Ray is one of the best that I know at overcoming objections. And so we want to make sure you're fully equipped to handle anything that comes your way while you're out there prospecting. So if somebody says, is this a pyramid? If somebody says, hey, I'm too busy, or somebody says, I don't have the money, or whatever, this will share with you exactly how to combat that, along with your scripts and everything you have, but this just takes it to another level. So you have every objection you could possibly need handled. involved in this course for you, and the training is there so you never feel stuck, and you can always feel confident that that you'll be able to at least turn the person around, or at least keep them positive, right? Let alone recruit them. So that's a $97 value. Now, as a fast action bonus, for those of you, and this is only for those of you on the webinar, okay? For those of you that invest within 1 hour of this webinar, and remember the website is jessicahigdon.com/now, I'm going to give you my 10K profile posting formula. This is my posting for profit training. And one of the questions I get asked quite a bit is, okay, what, Jess, I know that I have to make myself look credible and everything. What in the world do I post? Well, this training will make it so you never wonder that again. I go through and I give you different formulas and exact posts that you can use that will help you so you never wonder what in the world should I post again. You'll have this available to you so that you can literally, as you're feeding your kid or driving to work, well, not driving, you don't want to text and drive, but or about to drive to work, or you're eating your breakfast, or whatever the case may be, these different formulas and things will pop in your head so you know, oh, what should I post today? I should post this. And so you're not wondering, and then you'll get more leads and you'll get more people interested, and you'll actually have leads by within the next hour of posting these things that you can start reaching out to and using the 10K formula to bring them into your business. So again, guys, right now you save $100 and get over $3,400 worth of bonuses only for those on this webinar, and you will never see this price again. Here's what you get. You get the 4 modules, the 4 core modules with the entire social media recruiting system, my zero rejection conversation template, my social media attractor factor checklist, 4 online accountability recordings, the Top Earner Marketing Bootcamp social media talk, John and Nadia Melton recruiting training, Lisa Torres' recruiting training, April O'Leary's accountability training, Terry Grimaud's social media attraction marketing training, Ray Higdon's overcoming objections course. The posting for profits training is a fast action bonus. Now, when you get the course, I highly recommend going through this as one of your first trainings. Okay, so that way you can start posting right away. Actually, you don't get a complimentary ticket to our recruiting boot camp. I apologize. That is that was actually previously, but that's over. So you have a total value of over $3,400, and that is actually not going to be the price, as I'm sure you guys could have guessed. So we wanted to make this available to everyone that we possibly could, everybody that could afford it, and those of you that may be, just starting out in your business, and you want to make sure that you, you invest in your training and everything, but we didn't want to make it outrageous like that. Okay, so for a limited time, and for only those of you on this webinar, if you go to the website, you'll see it available for $497. For you guys, it's $397. Okay, so roughly the cost of an iPhone, or 3 payments of $147. Okay, 3 payments of $147. So let me ask you this question. Roughly the cost of an iPhone, right? How many times in our life have we spent $400? How many times? And it's on things that really didn't advance our training, advance us mentally, didn't advance our business, didn't change us as a person, didn't get us to the place that we wanted to go, right? Like maybe on a cell phone, or maybe on a tire that we needed that blew out, which is always fun. Or maybe it was going out to dinner, or maybe going out every night, or whatever the case may be. We spend this all the time, and we don't even realize that it's on things that deplete our life versus fulfill it. And so I know from my own experience, had I not invested in courses when I first got started, I know for a fact I wouldn't be here. So we hope to provide the same type of training, the same type of experience for you. So my goal for you is 12 months down the road, you say, you know what, I invested in myself, I believed that I could do it, and I took the leap, and now I've created a humongous team. I have people that are blowing it up. My friends are on stage with me, people that I actually enjoy and want to hang out with. I've won vacations. Anything that you want, I want that to be possible for you because you made a simple decision here today. Now, here's the thing. With any of our courses, you can try it out, and if you're not sure, if you really want to do this, if you're like, oh, I don't know, do I really want to play big this year? Or do I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, right? Then test me out. Test it out. See if this is a fit for you. Grab the course. If you go through the modules and you go through the training and you're not absolutely blown away, simply ask for your money back. But honestly, I don't anticipate this happening with anyone. I know you will love it because I know the attention to detail that went into this course. I know the testimonials that have come out of this course, and I know the different trainers that have contributed to this course. And there is no possible way that if you go through this, you won't see the value. But you do have that guarantee because we always want to make it risk-free to you, okay? So like I mentioned, you're not the first networker I've shared this with, okay? Dave Prosser, terrible recruiter. He didn't even know how to talk to people. He was spamming people. He's gone on to sponsor 24 people in 3 days. Julie, a single mom with an autistic son, a good friend of mine. She was frustrated with network marketing because she had done a lot of things that just hadn't worked for her. After following this formula, she recruited 7 people in a week, made $800, and earned a 7-day cruise for her and her son. It was great to see them on that cruise. Let me tell you, his face, it was his first cruise and his first trip. So just seeing him, it almost brought tears to my eyes. And then we talked about Terry, the massive success that he's had. Aurora, amazing lady. She didn't even know where the send message button was on Facebook. But by following this training, she was able to sponsor 28 people in 2 weeks, okay? So we've heard it all time and time again. I've gone through it, 28 reps in 2 weeks, 3 reps in a month, 5 in a week, 30 in 60 days, 24 in 3 days, 7 in a week. And like I said, guys, I have hundreds of these. Very blessed and honored to have received hundreds of these testimonials. So these are real results that were achieved without ever leaving the house or feeling weird or uncomfortable about anything because it's social media, right? You can just reach out to people and not feel weird or awkward about it, okay? So that's the power here. Who will this work for? The brand new network marketers I mentioned, or the leader with a large team. Those who feel paralyzed with no direction and they really want to step up their game. And they don't want to keep, shuffling around their pencils or papers. That was me, okay? I kept playing with, my desk and shuffling around things or cleaning up my office versus doing what I need to do because nobody told me what I needed to do. I needed the exact steps and nobody told me how to do it. And that's what this is solving. Those sick of online systems that require a lot of technical know-how or those who want to give their team a system for success. Really, this is for those who are ready to make this year their year to go big, okay? Next 12 months, I want to see you in a different place than what you're at right now, and I want it to be because of the decision you made. So I appreciate you guys. I'm so grateful and honored you took the time to be on here today. My goal was for you to get value whether you invest or not, and many of you took so many notes, and I know that you did, and I know that you can go out there and create success whether you get the course or not. But if you really want to build a big team and do it in the comfort of your own home, then get the 10K social media recruiting formula. I promise you, you will not regret it. And the proof is in the pudding. I've seen it time and time again of people getting the course, going through it, and seeing a major breakthrough that they just never would have had before in their business. So with that being said, I want to, again, share with you the website there so you can go get it. If you haven't already, you want to make sure you get that posting for profits bonus because that'll come in very, very handy for you. And then real quickly, I want to cover maybe 3 to 4 questions. And if you guys don't get your question answered, I'm going to pick out some questions that I think would benefit the group. Keep in mind, feel free to type your question. Go ahead and type it in the question box. If you don't get your question answered, don't worry. You can always email support@rayhigdon.com if you have a question that's specific to me, and they can forward it to me. Or if you have a question about how do I get my login, or I didn't receive an email, or where do I find this or that, they can help you. So again, that's support@rayhigdon.com. And thank you so much for the kind words, guys. You guys are amazing. Okay, let's see here. If you purchase with the 3 payments, will you still get the fast action bonus? Yes, you will. Let's see. Okay, so one of the questions is great price. Yes, absolutely. Ray is cute. You're right, Gail. Ray is cute. Okay, so here's a great question, and one that I see a lot. Do you think it's okay to work on building both companies? I'm with 2 companies. Or do you recommend only doing one? I definitely recommend only doing one. And that's if it has to do with network marketing. Now, it's okay, like if you have one company that is really more like training based, or a different product or something like that, then that's okay, because you are going to have more people that say no to you, to your business opportunity, than say yes, right? That's just the name of the game. So if you have something else that you can offer them, like a course or like an affiliate program or something like that, you may make some money off of that, right? But as far as network marketing goes, you don't want to be offering 2 companies, because people will just think that you're flaky, to put it quite honestly. People will think you're flaky, they won't take you seriously, and it'll really hinder your reputation. And on top of that, I've really never seen anybody able to build a company big time when they're working on building 2. I've only been able to see them build big with 1. And I've seen like some people that have a huge brand build 2 big businesses in different companies. However, it's always short term. It's always short-lived, and it never lasts. So I would highly recommend building 1 company. Okay, great question. So how would you answer a message when your prospect suspects that you're recruiting them in MLM? They ask, is this MLM? Great question. So again, remember I said honesty is the best policy. And if they're asking, is this MLM or whatever, then I would definitely recommend saying something along the lines of, well, yeah, actually it is, but do you mind if I ask why you even asked that question? And the reason that you're wanting to ask that is because you want to get to the deeper objection. The objection is not MLM. It's, oh, my brother did that once and it didn't work. Or, hey, I've tried those before and it didn't work for me. Or whatever the objection is. So you want to get to that deeper rooted issue. So always ask the question, however you want to do it. You can use the Todd Falcone line of absolutely, or else I wouldn't touch it, which is always a great one. But I always say something like, yeah, absolutely it is. May I ask why you even asked that question? And then when I get to the issue, then I have something to work with. So if they say, well, I've tried that before and it's never worked for me. Well, were you with a team that supported you and had a training system? Because if you weren't, I can promise you that that's something that we have, right? So now I'm dealing with the rooted issue versus, whether it's MLM or not, because that's really a surface thing that has nothing to do with the depth of what they're really wondering. Let's see what else we got here. Does the course help me when I want to promote a product? Yes, so you can, this is really teaching you to deal with people. Okay, it's teaching you to deal with people and how to interact and bring people from cold to warm and then eventually get them into whatever it is that you have to offer. So it's not a, hey, you can only do this if you're offering a business opportunity, right? This is you helping you figure out how to work with people into offering them whatever they need and whatever you have to give them. So that could be a product, and many people have used it to offer products. It could be a business. It could be a service. It doesn't matter. So great question. All right, I'll take a couple more. I have 2 Facebook profiles. One of them is very political. Is a second account a good idea? Yeah, okay, so if you didn't say political, I would say you may recover from that, but it's usually what I recommend if you are worried about your Facebook profile or whatever is that you can always change it. Okay, so people will actually appreciate you going out there and changing it and doing the right things, and even just being honest about it and saying, hey guys, you know, I realize I've come across in the wrong way and you're going to see a change from me and this is what I'm up to. Remember I talked about selling people on your vision. So I don't recommend like erasing any profiles because that's a lot of work. But if you've been really political on one of them, then you may want to start a second account. There's 2 things that are big no-nos on social media, or really like in PR in general, and that's political views and religious views. Now, if it's from a positive point of view, that's different. So some of you, you know, maybe you're a pastor or a preacher and you're talking about, you know, inspiration through God and things like that. That's amazing. You can say that. But if you're going to be negative on either account, so you're going to say, you know, your political views and how everybody who's this way is an idiot and everybody who's this way is right. Or you're going to say everybody who doesn't believe is going to hell, right? That is a big no-no. So if you've done that before, that's a tough thing to come back from. So you may want to start another profile if that's the case. Okay, so what if it goes into their other folder and you send a Facebook message and you're not friends? Well, there's a couple of different ways you can handle that. One, and we talk about all of this in the course and show you how to go about it, but one is you can use your phone, right, the Messenger app. You do get a better inbox rate if you use the Messenger app. It's just kind of a fluke that Facebook has, so I don't know how long that's going to be around, but it is something that works. And also, you can just reply to a comment and say, hey, by the way, I sent you a message, right? Or write on their wall or their picture or whatever. Comment on something they have. Let them know that you're actually watching what they're doing, that you're out there actually paying attention to them, and send them a message or comment on something and say, hey, I sent you a message. You may want to check your other folder or your other inbox, okay? So those are some ways that you can definitely get around that. Awesome, guys. Well, we are coming up on just about 90 minutes of your time with me, and I appreciate you guys being on here. You've been a great group, fantastic, fun. You guys are amazing. Congratulations to those of you who did receive the course. I see the messages coming in. Really excited for you. And I will see you guys on social media rocking and rolling it. Have a fantastic night.